The finale opens with sunlight and innocence. Young Peter on a beach with his mother, hearing her say she loves him. It's warmth, safety, and life before betrayal defined everything. Then reality hits. Peter calls the night action line and gives his code. It's rejected. The system doesn't recognize him anymore. That moment is bigger than access denial. It tells us Peter has been scrubbed, possibly flagged rogue. After the UN break-in and the growing conspiracy, someone high up wants him isolated. The institution he risked everything for has already started distancing itself. It's the first sign that this corruption isn't mid-level, it's presidential. Suspicion around Adam finally detonates when he pulls a gun on Chelsea. He admits he knew something was off. He claims it's bad luck, claims Peter is blinded by trauma over his father's betrayal. But what he's really doing is choosing survival. Peter realizes the truth. President Hagen and First Lady Jenny Hagen are tied to Jacob Monroe, and Adam has chosen loyalty to the president over loyalty to facts. Their fight in the rural barn isn't just physical, it's ideological. Adam escapes, but the line is officially crossed. This isn't confusion anymore. It's treason wrapped in pragmatism. And when Adam reappears later in Grand Central, gun raised, he's at a crossroads. Freya confesses the laundering in front of him. Peter tells him to listen to that voice, saying it's all wrong. Adam lowers his gun. He lets them go. That's the moment he chooses conscience, even if it costs him everything. At the financial register, Isabel, Jay, and the team connect the dots. Raul Zapata's LFS terror network, Jacob Monroe's intelligent brokerage, the First Lady's nonprofit signature initiative, the Hagen campaign, Walcott Capital. The theory becomes reality. Monroe funneled dirty money through the First Lady's charity and back into the campaign. When Monroe became a liability, he was eliminated. The drive he left behind holds thousands of documents, emails, audio, transaction logs. It's explosive. But evidence isn't enough. They need a human voice. That voice is Freya Myers. Freya believes money protects her, that banks pay fines and move on. Then Isabel tells her Monroe was murdered professionally and that loose ends are being tied up. Right on cue, armed men posing as maintenance show up. The chase through service corridors spills into Grand Central Terminal, crowded, chaotic, impossible to contain. Chelsea fights off an attacker in brutal close combat to protect Isabel. Peter tracks Freya into the subway tunnels. Adam appears again. Freya confesses she laundered money for the First Lady and Monroe she knew. Peter doesn't shoot, Adam doesn't shoot, they let the truth move forward. That restraint is what saves the country. Freya goes on record, live. She admits Walcott Capital knowingly laundered funds. She confirms the First Lady used her nonprofit to violate campaign finance laws. She knew exactly what was happening. The President and First Lady watch. Their faces harden. They aren't shocked. They're calculating. 5 weeks later, the story dominates every network. Jay walks the financial trail. Isabel's reporting goes global. Monroe's secrets become public record. The machine has been exposed, but exposure isn't the same as accountability, at least not yet. The father, the professional who killed Monroe, reappears. He seems retired. Then he reconnects with Freya at a bar. That's the show's warning shot. Yes, the financial scandal is public, but the enforcement arm, the people who clean up messes, still exists. The system may be wounded, but it isn't dismantled. Power doesn't disappear, it adapts. Peter recovers from his injuries. He and Isabel share a quiet, bittersweet goodbye. She's heading to Barcelona, choosing some balance between chasing truth and actually living. Meanwhile, Chelsea talks wedding plans with her fiancé, proof that life keeps moving even after conspiracies explode. Peter meets Mosley, Diane Farr's replacement. Night action is being scrubbed, fully reviewed. The rot went deep. That confirms what we suspected from the rejected code. Corruption infiltrated the program itself. Peter considers stepping away, healing his leg, healing himself. Mosley hints at a new partner. Peter smiles. He knows the number. Which tells us something important. Despite everything, betrayal, being cut off, nearly killed, he still believes in the mission. Peter buys ice cream, like the red strawberry bar with the blue cow logo his mother once bought him. It mirrors the opening beach memory. That small act isn't random, it's reclamation. At the start of the episode, we see innocence lost. At the end, we see innocence remembered, not restored, but honored. Peter can go back to who he was before betrayal, but he can choose not to let it define him. Season 3 isn't about taking down one villain, it's about proving that truth can survive inside a corrupted system. Adam represents compromised loyalty and the possibility of redemption. Freya represents greed and the moment fear cracks arrogance. The Hagans represent power, convinced it's untouchable. The father represents the lingering shadow of enforcement, and Peter represents endurance. The truth is out, but the assassin is still alive. Night Action is compromised from within. The war isn't over. What's changed is this. Peter is no longer the idealistic agent trying to prove himself. He's someone who's seen the rot and still chooses to fight. The dust hasn't fully settled. Power is shifting, enemies remain. But for the first time all season, the truth is public. And Peter Sutherland, wounded, isolated, scrapped from the system, is still standing. And that might be the most dangerous thing of all.